Hello, students. This is Miss Mishu, and this is a screencast on interest. Hopefully, this will help you calculate simple interest, compound interest, and use the rule of 72. Objective: students will be able to calculate simple interest, calculate compound interest, determine how long it will take to double an investment given an interest rate using the rule of 72, and determine what interest rate is needed to double an investment within a certain period of time, also using the rule of 72. It's important that you understand some basic vocabulary before we begin. So interest is money that you pay or money that you earn. It is money that you pay if you borrow money or money that you earn on an investment. Principal is the amount of money that you invest or borrow, and the term or time is the time frame the money is invested or borrowed. So let's begin with simple interest. The simple interest formula is I is equal to PRT, which means the amount of interest that you earn is equal to the principal times the rate times the time. Let's begin with our first example. You invest $5,500 in an account that earns 5% for 5 years. How much simple interest will you earn? So we use the simple interest formula. I is equal to PRT. The principal is $5,500. The interest rate's 5%, so it's 0.05. Remember, you want to get rid of the percent, move the decimal 2 places over to the left, and it's for 5 years. So the amount of interest that you will earn on this investment after 5 years is $1,375. Example 2. Assume that you invest $5,500 in an account that earns 5% for 5 months. The difference here is it's months. So the T in the formula needs to be expressed as a portion of a year or a portion thereof. So we will address that first in the formula. So the T is 5 divided by 12 because there are 12 months in a year. Again, multiply by 5,500, multiply by 5%. So the amount of interest earned is $114.58. Example 3. You invest $5,500 in an account that earns 5% for 50 days. What's different about this problem? Again, it's 50 days, it's not years. So how many days are there in a year? 365. So we take 50 divided by 365, multiplied by 5,500, multiplied by 5%. The answer is $37.67. Principal times rate times time. I put the time in first so that you can do the calculation, and just leave that number right on your calculator. 50 divided by 365 equals, and then leave it in there, and then multiply by the 5,500, the principal, and the 5%. Okay, so now compound interest is a little more difficult. Compound interest is when the amount of interest that you earn is added back to the original principal. So this is the formula. Make sure you write it down. A is equal to P, 1 plus R over N raised to the NT. So the A is the compound amount. So that is what that investment is worth at the end of the term, what is also referred to as at maturity. The P is the principal. The R is the interest rate. The N is what is different here. This is how often it is compounded. And the T is the time. So it's important for you to know all about the N piece of the formula, which is your compound frequency. And here are some common ways that investments are compounded. Annually, which is once a year, semi-annually, twice, quarterly 4, monthly 12, biweekly 26, weekly 52, and daily 365. So let's assume that you invest $1,000 at 2% compounded quarterly, which is 4 times a year, for a full year. If you were to do this out the long way using the simple interest formula, you would do I is equal to PRT. So it'd be 1,000 times 0.02, which is the interest rate. And then if it's compounded quarterly, that'd be every 3 months. So it's 3 divided by 12. So 3 divided by 12 times 0.02 times 1,000 is $5. So you would add that back in for the second quarter. So your new principal becomes 1,005. Again, you want to multiply that by the rate and the time. So for the second quarter, you would earn $5.03. You would add that back in to the 1,005. So your new principal becomes 1,010 and 3 cents. Multiply by 0.02, multiply by 0.25, so you would earn $5.05. Add that to the previous principal. Your new principal becomes 1,015 and 8 cents. Multiply by the rate, multiply by the time, you would earn $5.08. Add that to the previous principal, your new balance, and your answer would be $1,020.16. As you can see, this is a long way to do it. And if you have a lot of frequencies, compounding periods, it could be very time consuming. You could simply use the compound interest formula to calculate this. So you would do 1,000, which is the principal, parentheses, 1 plus 0.02 over how it's compounded quarterly, which is 4, raised to the NT, so 4 times 1 year is 4. So if you did that out on your calculator, your answer would be $1,020.16. You would work within the parentheses first, so it would be 0.02 divided by 4 equals, plus 1 equals, raised to the 4th power equals, times 1,000. And your answer would be 1,020.16 cents. So let's apply the compound interest formula. Assume you invest $5,500 in an account that earns 5% interest compounded monthly. That's 12 times a year for 5 years. What is the investment worth at maturity? So the first thing you need to do is you need to put this in the formula. Okay, very important that you write it out in the formula first. So the principal is 5,500. 1 is a constant. 5% over n, okay, that's the compounding period, so it's compounded monthly. It's compounded monthly for 5 years, so it's 12, which is monthly, 5 years, which is the time, so it's compounded 60 times. So on your calculator, you would do 0.05 divided by 12 equals, plus 1 equals, and then x to the y, you're raising it to the 60th power. You're not multiplying it. And then you multiply by 5,500. So let me show you how to do that on a scientific calculator. 0.05 divided by 12 equals, plus 1 equals. Okay, so we just did what's within the parentheses first. Remember PEMDAS. So we did that. Now the next step would be to raise it to the 60th power. X to the y, 60 equals. And then our final step is to multiply that by the principal. So your answer is 7,058.47. Hopefully this helps with this section. I will create another screencast soon. Thank you.